Hi, I'm Matt Downing. I'm the owner of Pioneer Mortgage here in Wakefield. I started with my father back in 1995. We worked for, back then it was called CTX Mortgage, and then we went to work for Chart Bank for a couple of years. And then we opened up our own Pioneer Mortgage back in 2001. So I've been running that since then. My favorite part of the business is really building the relationships, the personal referrals that we receive. It's not just one customer. I have a client who refers me to their children, and then I've done their grandchildren even. So it's quite the gamut. Over 30 years, probably about 30 years now I've been doing it. To have people feel comfortable enough to refer generation after generation to me is a real bonus, positive. So yeah, that's why I like that personal part of it for sure. When I'm working with a first-time home buyer, the first thing I like to determine with them is really a price range of what they feel comfortable with as far as monthly payments, what type of property they're looking for, whether it's a condo. Many first-time home buyers looking for condos, or a multifamily to bring in to help offset some of that monthly mortgage payment with the rental income. Then next comes credit. Credit is a big part of any determining, well, what's my rate? Everyone wants to know what rate can I get? What rate can I get? It really comes down to your credit score. So that's something. The next thing, have you had credit issues, or how much debt are you carrying? Those are big aspects with first-time home buyers to really kind of nail down those specifics. And then you get into towns and what areas you might be looking in, that type of thing. I think Pioneer Mortgage has extremely competitive rates. One advantage, a major advantage I have, is being on my own. I have access to local lenders and nationwide lenders. So I'm not limited to one set of rates or one set of programs, where I might have one lender that's very strong in a conventional loan, where I have another lender who might be with an adjustable mortgage or a VA loan or an FHA loan. So I do have the flexibility to pivot as needed to get the most competitive rates. Being your own shop, being my own office, you don't last, I think, as long as 30 years without having competitive rates and competitive programs. I think the number one advice is don't become too emotional with a home when you're looking at it. That gets people into trouble. A lot of times they keep bidding. They have to have this house no matter what, and you end up overpaying or maybe overextending yourself. In conjunction with that, I would say stick with your payment. Have a payment, a budget in mind, and really try to stick with that. And the last thing I want to see is people get overextended on a monthly mortgage payment. To have yourself prepared before you jump into the home buying process, I would recommend setting up a budget for yourself and start putting that amount of money away each month into a separate savings account. So if your budget, I'd like to have my mortgage payment $3,000 a month. Start doing that for 6 months and writing that check and putting it into another account to build yourself a little bit of a nest egg, and just to kind of feel how else you have to adjust your budget to meet that $3,000 mortgage payment every month. I am licensed in both Massachusetts and New Hampshire. My favorite product, it's actually with the higher interest rates right now. I do have a great first-time home buyer program that's an adjustable mortgage, but they do offer it in a fixed as well. But many first-time buyers are not going to be in that house for that long a time. First-time buyers are probably going to be in that house 5 to 7 years. So that's why I like to look for a product. Maybe I don't want to put them in too short of a product, but a 7-year adjustable mortgage really, I think, is a sweet spot for a lot of first-time buyers. Of course, you always have your conventional 30-year fixed, but that's pretty generic. Veterans have a great opportunity. 30-year fixed VA rates are very attractive and great program. They get kind of a bad reputation. They kind of get lumped in with FHA loans as far as certain conditions that need to be met for selling, but VA programs are very strong as well. Everyone wants to sell themselves that they have the best service, and that's an easy go-to. But once again, being my own personal operation, I do need to talk to people. I'm on the phone with people at 9, 10 o'clock at night, on weekends, whatever it takes to go the extra mile. And I'm glad to do it. People will say, oh, I'm so sorry to bother you right now. Absolutely not. This is what I signed up for. And I realize what it takes to get the deal done for you and get the right loan for you. I find myself, I don't want to say the complete package, it sounds self-serving almost, but I do have competitive rates, and I think I bring that level of service. Working with realtors, working with attorneys, whatever it might be, I've been doing this a long time, and I think I have strong relationships throughout the industry. I would like people to work with me because of the experience I can bring to the table of knowing I can address issues up front with people that we don't get into the process go down spending money. I know what to look for before we even start. I've pre-approved. I have the experience of working with different lenders, what they might be asking for. And while you want to have the competitive rates, everyone wants to have competitive rates, you do need the person that knows what they're doing as well, because there's nothing worse than a bad mortgage process that's painful, and it can be. Sometimes it can't. Even myself, some loans it's a difficult process, but I know how to navigate through it. I've been doing it for a long time, and I think I bring my experience to the table for that. I can anticipate what issues may come up with a borrower and know how to navigate it, whether it's getting your credit rescored. I can run something to say, hey, we really need to bring your credit score up to this amount to really get into the rate and price range that you feel comfortable with, and this is how we do it, whether it's paying down some debt or closing some accounts, that type of thing. I feel comfortable with my expertise level to help.